Okay, Gluteus Medius Part 3. And what we're going to talk about here is problems with the clamshell exercise. And if you're having problems with it, don't feel bad. You are in the majority. Okay? Very few people can just lay down and lift their knee like I showed you in the last video without encountering some problems. So the number one problem that people run into with this is that they don't feel gluteus medius firing. They don't get that burn that I was talking about. And that's a big problem. If you're not getting that burn, it is highly unlikely a result of that muscle being just so strong that you can't fatigue it. Okay? If that muscle was that strong, chances are you wouldn't be having any pain, and you wouldn't be looking on a website for videos on how to fix it. Okay? What is more likely is your brain has become quite tricky, and it is cheating in a way, and you're just not catching it. Okay? So let's go back into the position now, and we're going to go over some common ways of cheating. So the first thing is that if your hand isn't in the right position here, you might just be missing the fact that the muscles in the front are firing, and you're lifting up, and they're doing all the work, and gluteus medius isn't, and that's why you're not getting any fatigue with it. So really make sure that you find that pointy bone, you're just below it, okay, into the muscles of the thigh, but not too far below it either. Now sartorius is quite far towards the groin, towards the middle part, so make sure you're digging in close enough in through there. Now some people, they can't even lift their knee off the other one without feeling contraction in there. And if that's the case, we're going to talk about that in another video. Some people, they think that that's what's happening, but actually their hand is too high and they're feeling the abdominal muscles. Now, you really shouldn't have to fire your abdominal muscles to lift your knee either, but that's not quite as big a problem as if you're firing the anterior muscles of the hip. So make sure you're below the pointy bone, not above it, so you're not getting confused with the internal oblique versus these anterior hip muscles. Okay? Now, the other thing is, okay, let's say you're lifting up and you're doing everything properly. You lift, okay, those muscles in the front are starting to fire back off a little bit and I'm holding, and I'm still not feeling it in the glute. Reach down and check your hamstring. And as I bring my hand in and then I kind of palpate my hamstring, it's nice and floppy, okay? The hamstring has no business contributing to this movement either. Really what we want is glute, pure and simple, okay? But the hamstring is another muscle that we'll really cheat with. Now, a couple of tricks. One thing is to make sure that your foot is positioned sort of on top of the other one, and I would balance the big toe on top of the other one here. So when my knee comes to the top, my leg's got somewhere to rest. Where if my foot is sort of behind it like this, and I'm lifting, now I'm kind of having to hold my leg up in the air a little bit, and I'm definitely going to fire the front muscles there. So having the one foot on top of the other more like this, as you go to lift, is going to help. Now, I'm just bringing my legs up for the camera. You don't want to have your knees up that high. About 45-degree bend in the hip and a 90-degree bend at the knees is where you want to be. You want to be more down here. Okay? I guess the other big problem that people run into has to do with expectation. You know, you're watching me. I've been practicing this exercise a lot. I can lift my leg a long way. But if this is a problem for you, you may only be able to barely even separate your knees. And that's fine. If you stop there and you're doing it, if a little separation is all you can get without firing the muscles in the front, that's okay. Just hold there and do your repetitions, your 10 of 10 seconds. Within a week or so, you'll be lifting further and further. If you get impatient and you lift past the point where you control it and the muscles in the front are contributing, again, the pattern in the brain has not changed. And you will never get any higher up. Okay, so it takes a lot of patience to do this properly, but the dividends are a much faster improvement. Okay.